Hello, welcome back to Mr. and Mrs. Walker's Designs. I'm Michelle, and I appreciate you stopping by to watch this video. This video is going to show you some items that I have now listed in my newly opened Etsy shop, and it is called Mr. and Mrs. Walker's Attic. And so I want to start out with showing you a couple of journals that I've made. These journals were made for the Spring Stash Buster Junk Journal Challenge with Dear Julie and Kara Brandon. And I actually made 7, but in this video I'm gonna show you just 2 of them. The ones that I'm actually going to list in the Etsy shop. So let's get started. Show you this one first. I'm going to set this aside for just a second. So this is, since it was for the Spring Stash Buster Junk Journal Challenge, everything you see in these journals I already have. I did not go out and buy anything. So they are truly upcycled, recycled journals. So start with the cover. The cover is a upholstery sample that I got at the Salvation Army. And it has a elastic closure with a button and a little charm that says made with love. Let's see if I can get that to show. It's being kind of a uphill. Okay, so that is the closure, so it stays put, of course. And then this one is actually sewn in. So this journal has a sewn in single signature. This journal is a traveler's notebook style or Midori style, whatever. It's not sewn in, it's just elastic, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Okay, so we open it up. And so it is a fabric cover, upholstery sample on the front, cotton fabric on the inside with file folder in between. We have a front pocket. In that pocket, I'm including a coloring sheet. Okay. So, like I said, I had all these papers in my stash, so none of this was bought. I did some stenciling on this side, some writing paper, student writing paper. This is a page from a vintage botanical gardening book, some notebook paper. This paper right here is what they call, or what is called clean room paper. My husband used to work in a clean room environment, and he had paper left over, and so it's just it's a really nice weight of paper, and it has a really kind of velvety feel to it. It's a very nice paper. Now I just want to say something about these journals. These journals are pretty naked. They're pretty plain. I left them that way because the others that I made, I wanted to make all 7 the same as far as like the inside, the signature goes, and the other 5 are going to people that probably have never owned a junk journal and have never even seen one or know what they are. So I wanted to keep them really plain on the inside so they could use those journals for anything they want to. Okay. So these are going to be pretty plain, except for some scrapbook paper and some other stationery. Okay, we have some yellow lined paper, some coffee stained paper that I coffee stained myself, writing paper. This paper is a very nice paper. It's kind of got a speckled, I don't know if you can tell that or not. It has kind of a fiber or speckled look to it. It's a very nice weight paper. This is some stationery. Some more stenciling. This is some vintage stationery here. Scrapbook paper. Graph paper. I did some stamping on some of the white backs of the scrapbook paper. This paper right here I found at a variety shop or surplus store, and it is called bond paper or thesis paper, and it's got kind of a parchment look to it, but it has those lines and a watermark on it. Scrapbook paper, some different type of student writing paper, coffee stained paper, has lines on this side, some ledger, parchment paper, scrapbook paper, a different lined student paper, writing paper. There's some coffee stained / berry stained paper that I stained myself. And then each journal is going to get a paper clip, an altered paper clip, and a stained CD case or CD envelope. And inside of this envelope is a butterfly puzzle similar to this butterfly puzzle right here. So just something fun. Had them in my stash. I thought they would look cute in these spring Stash Buster journals, so that you're getting a puzzle to put together. Scrapbook paper, some stenciling and stamping on this side. This paper right here is vintage. It is from a 1960s how to draw art painting book. Some nice textured paper. Here's a notepad paper, some yellow parchment paper, different type of graph paper, some more of that really nice, really smooth speckled paper. You're also getting an airmail envelope, and this airmail envelope has 4 pockets. There's one here, 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 and here. And you're getting this tag with it. This is a tag that I made quite a while ago, actually. I decided they would look pretty in these spring journals. So as you can see, this signature is sewn in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. And then this is just the flip side, of course, because we were in the middle of the signature of the papers that you've already seen. This is the other side of that vintage art book. It's really cute, really pretty. You could color this. You could do all kinds of things with it, whatever you would like to do with it. Some stamping. Some of that really nice, that paper is a really nice weight and it's really smooth. Some more of that berry and coffee stained paper. Writing paper. Scrapbook paper. Parchment. The back of the ledger paper. And then this is another altered paper clip that I made for this Stash Buster challenge. So you'll be getting that. Writing paper. This is a flip out. This is beautiful scrapbook paper. That thesis or bond paper, graph paper, some stenciling, it's the back of that vintage stationery. And then of course I always try to include some type of biblical reference or Christian reference in my journals. So you get a piece of stationery that says Christ is risen. I know that my Redeemer liveth. Job 19:25. Some writing paper, coffee stained paper, the yellow lined paper. This is beautiful scrapbook paper as well. Love these colors. It's that clean room paper. Here is the other side of that vintage botanical page. This is the top of one of the student writing lined papers. For some reason it had a wide top margin, but I thought that was pretty cool. It's something different. And then this is the back of the signature. So this is the sewn in journal, the one that is actually sewn in. And it also comes with this mini booklet that I made. It's collaged on the front and on the back. And then it is just sewn in with the fabric binding on the top. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe you have 10 pages. Yeah, you have 10 pages of a little notepad or booklet paper. Let me also tell you how big these are. They're going to be approximate. They didn't all come out exactly the same. So they're approximately 9.5 by 6.5. Okay, 9.5 by 6.5. These little booklets are 3 3/4 by 5.5. So they're a nice little size. And the journal has 32 pieces of paper. Notice that some of them were smaller, it was an envelope, that type of thing. But there's actually 32 pieces of paper so that gives you 64 front and back, and then 128 front and back each side pieces of paper. So there is this one. I think this one is so cute with the little llama on the front. It's a Peru stamp. So we'll set that one aside, and I'm not going to go through each page in this one, but because the papers are almost exactly the same. Okay, so this one comes with a little booklet as well. It just says Joy on the front, collaged on the front and the back. This one is a lighter in tone. So this is what this one looks like on the inside. Again, you get a piece of coloring page, front angled pocket, scrapbook paper, botanical print page, book page. This is clean room paper in green. Beautiful sunflower scrapbook paper. I just love this stamp here. I just bought this stamp and I am in love with this stamp. It is just so pretty, and it just shows up, all the little lines show up so well. So we got that, some coffee stained paper, some scrapbook paper. Basically, it's the same. The scrapbook paper is going to vary. That's stationery. Here's some more stenciling. Stamping, some beads for spring. Some graph paper. Beautiful scrapbook paper. Tea stained paper, writing paper, ledger paper. There's some of that really nice parchment. Scrapbook paper, writing paper, stamping. Coffee stained paper. Here's this butterfly puzzle and altered paper clip. Scrap paper. Here is the vintage 1960s art, how to draw or how to paint book. Notepad paper, parchment, graph paper, that really nice speckled paper. Your envelope in the middle. And this one, like I said, this one is just in with elastic. Okay, so you've got just a little bit showing on the outside. And so this can be completely taken out, rearranged, put something else in this cover, whatever you want to do with it. So here's a tag that says believe. And again, there are 4 pockets here. Here's the other side of that art book. Really, really cute bunnies. Okay, and on this one I added some washi to some of the edges of the paper. And really nice coffee stained paper there. Really dark. And here's your altered paper clip in this one. So on book page and a little bit of collage and some lace. This thesis bond paper, graph paper. Christ is Risen paper, scrapbook paper, coffee stained paper, yellow lined paper, and this beautiful sunflower paper. The rest of that clean room paper, notebook, and the other side of the botanical. Hold on. Botanical, student writing paper, and the end of your signature. So there is that one. Has a button just like the other one with a little bullpen with Made with Love on it. And this booklet is exactly the same in the middle. So those are the 2 that are going to be listed in my Etsy. They aren't in there yet, but they will be probably by tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that. Mr. and Mrs. Walker's Attic is the name of the new Etsy shop. Let me show you some books that I have already added to the Etsy shop. Hold on. Pull this up a little bit. Okay, so I have added this. This is the complete story of Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, illustrated with original drawings. This is the 50th anniversary edition of Snow White. Snow White was originally published in 1937, so this is the 50th, so it was published in 1987. It is in very good condition. It's got some dings on the dust jacket, but the book itself is in excellent condition. Nice fabric binding or spine. Okay, so this book has some beautiful, has a little bit of a smudge there, but other than that, it has beautiful illustrations, black and white and color. So if you were a Snow White fan or Disney fan, you might want to head on over to my shop and pick this up, because it is a really nice vintage collectible. So we have that. We have this book listed. It is The Romance of English Literature by Kate O'Brien. This book is published in 1944. You can see that. Okay, this book is in good condition. It's a little loose right here at the binding, but this is a really nice vintage book. It has an index. The cover is in good shape, very good shape. It's a kind of a mustardy yellow color. It does have someone's inscription label in the back, but it does have some really nice book plates. Really nice book plates, and if you're a British or English literature fan, then this would be the book for you. The pages are nicely patina, have a really nice patina on them. That's a really pretty book plate. Okay, so we have this book in the shop. The next book, or I'm going to bring up both of them at once. These are the junior instructor books. These books are large. As you can see, they barely fit in the frame. They are like, they're like 12 by 9, okay? In these books, the covers, you know, have some patina on them on the front because they're embossed. So you got that, you know, that darkening in the crevices, but they are in excellent condition. Okay. Very, very nice. In papers, and just, I mean, these are just awesome for kids. These were meant for school-age children and their parents learning things. It's got music, it's got art, it's got science, games, activities, stories, how to talk on the telephone. Okay, so this is a really, really nice book, and it is, it was published, hold on, in 1962 is this, this edition. I like the back, this last page. Someday men may travel to the moon. A spaceship could land on the moon and send out explorers. You will see that this spaceship is not streamlined like the space taxis. It does not have to be, for it does not go through air. I just thought that was funny. So yeah, I mean, you know, the man had not even walked on the moon yet when this one was published. So we have that one available. And then we have the second book to this, I guess you could call, series. This one was also published in 1962. It has the same end papers, beautiful end papers, and just Pretty much more of the same type of thing. Music, stories, art, science, math. Just beautiful illustrations. How to read, how to write their letters. These are just really, really nice books. So we have those in the shop. Something totally different. We have this Leaves of Gold. This Leaves of Gold, I know these are like, people probably have seen these everywhere. However, this Leaves of Gold is in excellent condition. It has this nice embossing on the front, gold lettering. I don't even think this one has been read or cracked open, hardly any. It has the faux corded binding. I mean, I can't open it all the way because it has not ever, don't think it's ever been opened all the way. So it has beautiful end papers, and of course it has your inspirational quotes, stories, just a lot of interesting, inspirational, religious information and stories. So, of course, and in between each like section, it has these really nice papers. So we have that available. Okay, we also have this one available, and I don't know if the camera is going to do this one justice or not, but this book is absolutely gorgeous. It is gold. The whole thing is gold. It's embossed. The spine is gold and embossed. The back is gold. Has some staining probably on it's on the inside of this clear, sorry for the glare, but this clear cover. This book is from 1883. This end paper has come apart, unfortunately. It does have some writing in it. It is a history of wood engraving. 1882 is the copyright, entered in according to Act of Congress in the year 1882 by Harper and Brothers. And it does have some water damage, unfortunately. On the corners, on each side, it has patina, or it has damage. I don't know if it's from water or coffee. I'm not sure, but junk journalers will appreciate this and probably really like it. But it has got some very interesting illustrations in it. It's the history of wood engraving, Italian wood engraving, the decline and extinction of the art. I mean, it is just, look at that. That is just gorgeous. It has just got some really, really cool illustrations. That's beautiful. Oh, those butterflies are pretty. So yeah, we have that available as well. That's a beautiful book. Then we have a book by A.A. Milne, not Winnie the Pooh, unfortunately, but it is a book by A.A. Milne, and it's called Now We Are Six. This was written, I understand that this was written because a baby was coming along and it was going to make the family six people. So he wrote this book for that reason. And just to let you know, as you can see, it does have library artifacts on it, I guess you could call them. It does have a barcode on the back. It has a spine label. It has a library pocket. And then it also has a spot in the back where there was an RFID tag that was taken out when this book was discarded. So this book is copyrighted in 1955. But this is just a really cute book by A.A. Milne. And it has a lot of cute illustrations in it as well. Okay, so we have that one available. It's in good shape. It just has all the library stuff in it. You may like that, I don't know. Then we have this book. This book is called The Practical and Artistic Basketry by Laura Rollins Tinsley. This book is in pretty good shape. It's got a little wear at the top, probably shelf wear. Okay. Doesn't have any inscriptions in it. A little smudge there. It is copyrighted 1904, and this book is pretty rare, actually. It is hard to find this. This is a first edition. It is hard to find this particular book, this edition. I had a hard time finding it. You'll see later editions. They may have this cover on the picture, but it's not that book. So this book is very interesting. This book basically is a educational book about how to make baskets and all the different ways. And like, there are Native American ways of making baskets in here as well. And to be 1904, this book actually has photographs of the baskets that are being made, and it has diagrams showing you how. So if you are a basket lover, then this book is for you. It's a really cool book. It has all kinds of photographs and instructions and diagrams on how to make all different kinds of baskets. So we have that book available. And then the last book that we have available right now is a book. It's called German Composition. Actually, the full title is Selections for German Composition with Notes and Vocabulary by Charles Harris, and this is dated 1907. This book is very well loved and used. As you can tell by the cover, it's got quite a bit of wear on the spine, on the back, but this book was used. I mean, this wasn't one of those that just sat on the shelf. It's got all kinds of writing on the front end papers here, and this one I thought was really funny. I mean, I assume it was a she, probably because it says Lucy Bolton right here. But I just thought this was so funny because she used it like as note writing, you know, like passing note writing type thing. I thought we were going to hold chapel exercises this AM. What happened? ? So she was using it to write notes in class, it looks like, to her classmates. So this book is like, it is so used. Okay, it's got notes everywhere, all through it, because it was used in a class. And I think it's just really cool. And it is old, 1907. So there is that book, German Composition. So those are all the things that are listed right now in the Etsy store. We are planning on adding, I will be adding the journals, of course. And then I also will be adding, I want to add some I've been curating book pages and of this and paper ephemera that I would like to do some bundles with. And then also I have been organizing and curating some fabric that